Hi everyone, my name is Jaja Franco. I am currently working as a Band 7 Fundamentals of Care lead for our trust here in the Northwest. As a background, I really didn't have any hospital experience back home in the Philippines.
Sometimes nurses attend our London courses from as far away as Glasgow, Cardiff and Portsmouth. Thank you. Sometimes nurses would like to attend our outstanding OSCE courses, but for various reasons can't make it here. It's okay, we hear you. Here at IELTS Medical, we're currently working on reaching every nurse wherever you are in the world. In the meantime though, we've got our video course and textbook package called the Ultimate Guide to the NMC OSCE. Your guide includes the theory for the exam, as well as vouchers for 1 or 2 6-hour sessions with our OSCE educators. Grab your Ultimate Guide at oscenurses.com today.
So my experience back home, I mainly work for outsourcing company or kung ano tinatawag natin sa Pilipinas na BPO. I started from a telco company until I ended working for United Healthcare, I might as well say it, or Optum Global Solution as they are known today. I've worked for them for about almost 7 years, and I've started as an entry-level clinical admin coordinator, and then I worked myself up until I became a account manager or assistant manager, and also became one of the service hero for that company as well.
Man knows best.
I've heard that NMC is actually accepting application or registration for nurses or nurses without hospital experience. Because I remember initially si NMC, ang gusto nila 1-year hospital experience from your origin country. Kasi in the past I've looked into it, pero talagang hindi ko kaya mag-hospital experience sa Pilipinas at that time. One, because alam naman natin yung sweldo ng mga nurse, and I was a single mom. I am a single mom.
You don't get paid.
Importante sa akin yung salary talaga, na parang kailangan mabuhay ko yung anak ko at that time. Second, I wasn't confident with my knowledge na pag pumunta ako ng ospital, may alam pa ba ako? Because it's been so long. So talagang, to be fair, the healthcare industry or the healthcare insurance industry requires you to be at least a Philippine licensed nurse. So yun yung ginamit ko para magkaroon talaga ako ng work with the outsourcing company. So eto na, so nung nalaman ko na wala na required na experience si NMC, sabi ko, sige, baka ito na yung chance ko. So I kind of messaged quite a lot of agencies asking, are they accepting applicants without hospital experience? I didn't really get anywhere. Maraming agency na they're still not accepting it or they still prefer na mag-hospital experience ka. Luckily, I found one. Tinanggap nila, and then nag-interviews. At that time, medyo swerte rin ako because nasa Pilipinas sila. So they interviewed me face-to-face. Ang funny pa niya, nung in-interview ako, kasi yung process ng agency at that time, magkakaroon ka ng parang mathematical or parang computation question, plus may parang scenario. May scenario, tapos ano daw gagawin mo as nursing action. Siyempre, yung lola mo, wala naman akong alam. So, nung napasok ko yung drug computation, because easy lang naman. Pero nung nakita ko yung scenario, clueless. Sabi ko, anong sakit to? Ganon talaga. As in, I tried to answer it, but during the interview, i-discuss mo yung sakit kung anong nursing action mo for that. And I was very honest naman. So sabi ko sa kanila, I really do apologize. I really don't know the answer to this because I never stepped foot in a hospital aside from the fact na nag-placement tayo ng college or ng university. Pero wala talaga akong alam. Which is, I think it works into my favor. Kasi sila talaga yung nag-apologize pa na, oh, I'm so sorry, you even got the hardest one, apparently. I even got the hardest question, pero wala talaga ako nasagot. So I think it is a struggle kasi hindi lahat ng agency or trust magbibigay sa'yo ng opportunities. But it doesn't mean na it will stop you from trying to achieve what you want to do.
Man knows best.
kung katulad ko kayo na nagpapadala buwan-buwan sa Pilipinas, might I suggest to you, Taptap Send. Taptap Send is free, mabilis, maaasahan, and if you use our code on your first padala, PINOYUK, you get 15 pounds top up sa iyong unang padala. So ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Send money to your loved ones, use Taptap Send, and use our code, PINOYUK.
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you make.
So nung nag-OSCE ako, maraming prayers, if I may say. Marami talagang prayers na, oh my God, kailangan ko itong mapasa. Pero siguro nakatulong din yung skills ko sa Pilipinas na medyo organized akong tao, medyo na tipong ito yung kailangan ko aralin. So, di ba kasi yung OSCE, more of your ideal way of doing things. So ako inisip ko, hindi naman ganito talaga to sa ospital. So parang kailangan ko intindihin kung bakit ganito yung marking criteria. Medyo technical ko yung pag-aaral doon. Saka nakatulong din na yung practice educator namin at that time was very supportive. Na parang, oh, if you wanna come in sa weekend para go, ganun. Willing silang on our own accord na parang gusto nyo mag-practice ng weekend or if you want and practice anytime, ganun yung level of trust na isara nyo lang yung practice room, parang ganun sila. So it was helpful. And also, yung mga kasabayan ko na, yung mga cohort ko, na plus yung previous cohort na tumulong din sa amin na ina-assess nila kami, so gina-guide nila kami. So thankful din ako sa mga tao na tumulong at that time.
Manong knows best.
Kaya nga sabi ko, I wanna earn that experience. Pero gusto ko ng goal, ito yung goal ko. Still my goal pa rin na kailangan makaalis ako ng bedside. I wanna be in the corporate. I wanna do this. I wanna do the training and stuff like that. So what I did so I started with acute frailty unit. Hindi siya madali from the word it's frailty and plus they're acute. So alam mo yung may mga dementia patient natin. Walang araw na wala kang dementia patient. Mga ganon. So to be fair, yung ward din naman na yun is quite very good for learning. As in, talaga sila, nagsusupport sila ng learning, open sila makinig sa'yo. So what I did, bilang si ate mo, bida-bida minsan, sabi ko, nagsasuggest ako sa manager, sabi ko, pwede ba natin itong gawin? By the way, I created this welcome pack para sa mga bagong dating kasi pansin ko nung bago ko, wala akong masyadong information, hindi ko alam. So I created the welcome pack for their ward. So nasa welcome pack yung common abbreviation kasi para akong nag-ano nung bago ko parang, ano ibig sabihin nito? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Ano tong abbreviation na to? Alam mo yon, nagtatanong ako. I also created the parang new starter na somewhat competencies pero parang checklist. Kasi ba pag bago ka, lalo na katulad ko na wala talaga akong experience, ano bang dapat kong alamin? Ano yung learning guide ko? Alam ko na yung admission. Tapos, alam ko rito? Parang gano'n. Walang gano'n. So, I created one. Lola mo So, I created one. Wala So, I created that competencies para ma-check ko sa sarili ko, nagawa ko na yan. Alam ko na yan. So, parang ikaw na mismo sa sarili mo na parang, hindi ko pa to alam. Itatanong ko. O kaya, mag-google ako sa training. Parang gano'n.
Do you have new ideas?
Great. Pero yun nga, that's why sabi ko, kung may idea kayo, i-try nyo i-pitch sa manager. Kasi the only thing they can do is yes or no lang naman yun, or let's try. So mostly kung may supportive ka talagang manager, ang sasabihin niya sa'yo, sige, try natin.
Manong knows best.
So just a word of caution, not everybody will be happy for you. Not everybody will be pleased with what you're trying to achieve. But it doesn't mean you should stop. I like what I do. I'm happy with what I'm doing at the moment. Pero never ko yung ipapamukha sa mga tao.
Diba?
Yan yung more of, baka may lapit ka lang, tawagan mo ako, message mo ako. That's always my line to people na parang, message ka lang pag may question ka, pag may kailangan ka, let me know kung anong kailangan kong maitulong. That's always been my line. Kasi para sa akin, Kuya Philip, success doesn't mean you're up here. I am happy that yung mga tao around me, o yung mga tao natulungan ko. Kasi di ba, the sign of your success isn't always the money that you have. It will always be how many people you've helped be successful as well. So, para sa akin kasi malaking bagay yung tumutulong ka. Diba? Hindi ba ako mayaman ngayon, Kuya Philip, pero alam mo yun, at least kahit pa paano feeling ko may natutulungan naman ako mga tao. So for those who does not have any hospital experience pero goal mo yung UK, never give up on that goal. Never give up. Kasi sabi nila na wala na masyadong hiring ngayon. Pero pag tinignan mo yung number of vacancy, malaki pa rin, mataas pa din. So never give up on your goal, whether kung ano man yung gusto mong gawin, never ever give up. Again, kung magsabi man sa'yo ng no ang isang agency, it doesn't mean all of them will say no to you. You probably just have to find the right agency, the right workplace. Again, we are here to help. If you need any help, I'm more than happy to support. Never lose sight of that goal. That's all I'm gonna say. Never lose sight of the goal. Because if you did, that's your failure na. Pag nag-give up ka, that's when you actually fail.
Always remember, Manong knows.
Manong knows best, put your worries to rest when staying in the United Kingdom. Manong knows best.